Welcome to Tridents and Tracers, your weekly comics roundup. I'm your host, Ryan Taylor, and back again with 3 more comics released yesterday. Today, I've got a whole bunch of Image comics because I'm kind of obsessed with Image, so, whenever I get the chance to review as many as possible, that's what I go for. The lineup today is Shirtless Bear Fighter, issue number 5, Maestros, number 1, and Curse Words, number 9, rounding it out. So, without any further ado, let's get right into the comics. First up, we have Shirtless Bear Fighter, number 5, by Jody LeHoup. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. Jody something. Great writer. Sebastian Gerner and Neil Vendrell. On a previous episode, I reviewed issue 4 of this series. Not sure how many episodes ago that was. And this issue ends the current story arc. I'm not positive if it's the story arc or the series, because I've seen it referred to as a miniseries. I hope there's more, but if not, it's pretty short and sweet. Issue number 5 rounds it out now. Hopefully, again, there's more of this in a very fitting way. Of course, the story picks up at the end of the battle from the previous issue. Has Shirtless himself battling Logger and Brother Bear. And, of course, the last issue ended on what seemed to be the tragic death of Papa Bear. And there's a really touching moment between Shirtless and Papa Bear. The classic, you're better than this, go be my son sort of thing. But that leads into a very fucking awesome action-packed fight between Shirtless and Brother Bear, ending with the demise of Brother Bear. And then you think you're going to see an even bigger battle between Shirtless and Logger, but it becomes hilariously anticlimactic, and I really like that touch. But it ends with the happy ending of the Bears getting the Force back, and surprisingly, Papa Bear survives, which is cool. But now, Shirtless must leave the forest and go wherever he is needed. So I don't know if that means another series in the future, or an issue number 6 perhaps, or if that's just where they're going to leave it, with Shirtless going to defend whoever needs to be defended, and fighting whatever bears need to be fought. I love this comic so much. It's just so much fun, and it's bright and colorful and hilarious, and it's just a great fucking comic. It's everything I want in a comic. Can't recommend that one enough. Moving on to comic number 2 this week. It's a brand new series. I always like to throw in at least one issue number 1 per episode. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep that up forever, because that's going to end up with me reading more comics than I can keep track of. But as for now, we're going to keep it going. So this week I've got Maestros number 1 by Steve Skroce, the writer and artist here. Our first of 2 magic-related comics this week, because it's October. I couldn't find much in the way of horror. I thought magic was not too far off. Maestros tells the story of William Little, the exiled son of the Maestro, aka the king of the wizards, pretty much. The Maestro and his entire royal family are murdered, so the throne must now be inherited by the outcast son who has been living on Earth. It's kind of like Harry Potter, except with a load of violence and cynicism, I guess. It's like an adult Harry Potter. Not to say that Harry Potter's for kids, but it's it's like a rated R Harry Potter, I guess you would say. I really enjoyed this issue. I did. You get to see the entire brutally violent murder of the royal family, and it's pretty fucking brutal. The introduction of Will on Earth in a strip club filled with strippers that are actually aliens set out to kill the Maestros or something. It's pretty fucked up. Then a bunch of backstory about when Will first found out about the Maestros, and his introduction to the world of magic, which is kind of Harry Potter-esque, but way fucking darker. It's a great comic, and I'm going to be back to read issue 2 of this for sure. That's the thing. If you hear me talk about a comic on this series, it's something I enjoyed. Because if there have been times I've read comics to review, and I wasn't a big fan. So instead of get on here and be negative and complain about shit I didn't like, I just read something else and reviewed it instead. So Maestros was great, and I'm gonna read more, as if I needed another fucking comic series to keep track of. Let's get into comic number 3 this week, and my personal favorite. I don't know if it's my personal favorite issue this week, but it's one of my favorite fucking series. Curse Words. And the art and the title alone catch your eye. I was in Kohl's, I believe, and it was after I had started doing the Tridents and Tracers series. And no, it was after I started the new reviews, sorry. And I was looking for more comics, because I had already reviewed I Hate Fairyland and Paper Girls, and I came across the first volume of Curse Words. Now, I didn't buy it that day, but I said, this is something for me to check out. This is something to add to my list. And I did, and I've been following Curse Words issue for issue ever since. Holy fuck, this is so good. Okay, Charles Soule, I'm not positive, and Ryan Brown are the creators behind Curse Words. It's another magic comic, but it's not the same at all. This time, it's about a dark wizard named Wizard, well, real subtle, who is sent by his leader Syzygy to destroy Earth, but decides it's actually kind of a nice place, and stays there to chill out instead. So, of course, Syzygy sends more of his dark wizards to destroy Wizard. That doesn't work out too well either. He destroys the first, strips the second of their powers. So now, we're in the second story arc, and we have Ruby Stitch, which was the wizard sent to destroy Wizard the second time. Also a former lover of Wizard. She's stuck on Earth without her powers. She doesn't know how to speak English. She's trying to adjust to a new world, and obviously that's difficult. We also have Wizard and his wonderful sidekick Martha, which I'm going to get to in a second. Still trying to figure things out, because Wizard has been using places of power on Earth, like places of strong belief or a lot of faith, you know what I mean? He used like Earth magicians, he used sporting events, things like that, to enhance his magic, and he's been drawing from that. But it seems like they're catching on now that when he does that, it takes the power out of the thing. Like, they're a sporting event in this issue, he draws from the crowd, believing in a team that can't win anyway, and as soon as he does that, the fans get up and leave. So they're trying to get to the bottom of that. Still trying to figure things out. And now, meanwhile, in the whole world, spelled Hole, Syzygy is having a tournament to decide who gets to destroy Wizard. In this issue, it's down to the final 2 of the tournament, Violet and Botchko. Violet surprises everyone, comes out on top. That whole story is interesting in its own, but I gotta get back to Martha. Martha is Wizard's sidekick, and in the beginning of the series, Martha is a talking koala, because Martha just takes whatever form she feels like, I guess. Right now, Martha is a platypus, and Martha is the one who's starting to realize that there might be more to the power draining that Wizard is. Anyway, Martha's wonderful. Martha is easily the fan favorite of this series, and she's also probably Ruby and Wizard's daughter, but neither of them know that, and it's pretty fucked up. Anyway, another great issue of Curse Words. Fucking love this book. Definitely recommend it. this is one of the harder times I've had picking an issue of the week. Usually there's one that stands out above the rest. I'm not going to say Maestros because it's not a must-read yet. It has a lot of potential. I can't wait to read more of it. So Curse Words, Shirtless Bearfighter, I've been a fan of for a while. Definitely must-read comics. But if I'm taking one based on the issue alone, Shirtless Bearfighter, end of the story arc, issue number 5, gotta be the one. Read this fucking book. Holy shit. But that being said, read all of these. This is a great week of comics. And it's not even getting into other shit that I read this week that I'm trying to keep it to 3 issues a week to actually get into the reviewing. But I mean, there's so many great comics coming out. I haven't even touched on The Realm. The issue number 2 came out this week. I'm probably going to review it around issue 3 or 4, so there's a bit more story to go on. But shit. Thanks for listening, guys. Really appreciate this. Really appreciate the support for this. Mostly, I really appreciate you guys giving me an excuse to read way more comics than I ever needed to read. And of course, thanks for all the support on new reviews and of course Jedi Dropouts. You can always check out other episodes of Tridents and Tracers, new reviews, and Jedi Dropouts over at www.jedidropouts.podbean.com or on Podbean, Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, YouTube, all that shit. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And be sure to listen to the Jedi Dropouts horror series we're doing for the month of October. We're 3 episodes in, and we're talking about fucking everything horror related. If you're a horror fan, if you're in the mood with October and Halloween coming up, go give that a listen. Anyway, that's another week of Tridents and Tracers, and go find yourself a new comic. Check it out. Make sure you grab yourself some junk food, maybe some Twizzlers, some M&Ms or something, my personal favorites. And go sprawl yourself out on the floor and read some comic books, man. No time like today. Thanks, guys. Later.